up, and then I'll just be a minute or so while I'm looking for something to talk about now.
Alright.
Unfortunate. When there we got low, could be trying to like slide for cover, slide over the health pack, things like that. Potentially some options. Okay, I know. I think we talked about this last time, but remember when we're just aiming to be aiming a little bit higher for that head level crosshair placement. Nice shots.
Just what I was looking for.
Fuck.
Hitting the ground running. Railgun charge.
If you know that absolutely nobody is looking at you, you can stand still for a moment, because then you're not throwing off your own shots while you're trying to aim at a baby diva, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're kind of by
Just
by
be
myself
very
right
careful
now.
with it, because if anybody is looking at you, then you'll blow up very quickly. So it's only if you know absolutely nobody's looking at you there.
Damn, they got everybody with that. Holy shit.
Breaking them down.
Valkyrie is ready. Healing fortified.
Damn, teams getting iced.
Okay, could be using this time to try to poke, get some kills, so maybe get a pick, open up for your team.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much I could do right here.
Area denied.
Reporting in.
Okay, you just gotta be careful with cover and walking into like 5 people's worth of damage, right? That's gonna get melted pretty fast, as we saw there. Kind of like along
Mm-hmm.
those lines of what we talked about last time of watching deaths. Think about, why did you die? So if you died because like 5 people shot you, and then maybe we don't want to walk into 5 people's worth of damage.
Mm-hmm.
This ends now. Target down. Disrupting.
Nice. Still aiming pretty low a lot of the time here. Remember, headshots are gonna be getting you those kills a lot faster.
Can I get some healing?
Ah,
Nothing a quick repair won't fix. Not so fast.
Nice.
I'm on my game now. I need healing. Clear out. Vitamin D. Just
Okay, so a little bit of awareness there. So firstly, team comp dictates playstyle. So keep your eye on the fact that they're on Mercy. Now, since you know that they're on Mercy, you gotta watch dead bodies. So every time you or your teammates
mm-hmm.
get a kill, watch them because that turns from giving her a free res into getting a free kill. When did they
Gotcha.
change that part of the map? What the doors don't close all the way now? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think they ever did on this map. To be
Oh.
honest, at least I don't remember it being so.
Yeah, well they usually did after you cap point. Maybe that's it's either a recent change or a console thing.
patch me up.
Shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Come on, let's move this payload. 60 seconds remaining.
Yep. Gotta keep an eye out for where all the enemies are, because sometimes we're low HP and we're just trying to get heals and we run into enemies, which is kind of like what happened there. So you just gotta keep tabs on where all of them are. Try to maybe get to a health pack, maybe.
Not so fast.
Yeah, that's just bad shots there.
What am I missing? 10 seconds remaining.
God, immediately.
This ends now. Who's next?
All right. So I don't know if there's anything new from that game. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know if there's anything new from that game to go super in depth or elaborate on. So you can probably just hop right into your next one. I think a couple of the same things that we talked about last time are showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Though I don't know. I'd say maybe a minor less of a focus on positioning. I think that was the number one thing last time, right? If I go take a look at our notes. Last time is
Yeah.
positioning, the mechanics, then
Mm-hmm.
awareness,
Mm-hmm.
usage, ability usage. Um, I think mechanics are or positioning's doing a little bit better, but still room for improvement on cover usage, and getting to cover quicker when people are shooting at you and things like that. I like that you're taking
Mm-hmm.
high grounds a lot. I think ranging is looking a little bit better. Where sometimes you're actually in more appropriate ranges a lot of the time, than we were before. So positioning's looking a bit better, though a lot of I'd say a big problem was just death count. I'd say you're dead way too much, and then that just meant that you weren't able to do as much with your game. So if you are able to stay alive more, then you're going to be able to do a lot more. So that's going to come down to things like positioning, things like being aware of your surroundings and where the enemies are and where the health packs are, so you can go get healing
Mm-hmm.
faster and not take as much damage on the way. Things like that, because a lot of the time, like, you're doing decent, you're getting some kills, but then you're just dead the other half of the game. So it just means that you're not able to get value.
Right. Okay.
Yep. You should be able to
So
queue up here if you wanna.
okay. Yeah, I did go 14-7 on that last match, and it's my KD is usually a lot better than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for DPS, KD is usually a pretty good indicator of how you're doing. Generally speaking, like zero or negative would obviously be absolute trash, and you're just either doing nothing or doing worse than nothing. 1 to 2 is usually still pretty bad. 1 to 2 is like the barely doing anything range, so you're not
Mm-hmm.
doing too great if you're in that range. Then you have, I'm spectating, by the way, and then you
You
yeah, then
go
you
ahead.
have like 3 to 4, which is the, like, okay, now you're starting to that now that's kind of like the bare minimum of your job. Like, you're starting to do decent. It's like kind of you're kind of doing what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
5, 6, 7. That's where you're starting to do pretty good. But still not like optimal range. Like, you're now you're starting to do solid. In like 5, 6, 7. 7, 8, 9. Now you're starting to do really good, but 10 plus. That's where you're in like hard carry mode, pretty much for the most part. So that's the range you're usually trying to aim for.
Take it personally when I get the most kills, okay?
What do you think the chances I can get this Mercy to pocket me?
Probably depends on the Mercy, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Mercy's going off by themselves for the moment.
Yeah, happens.
So I gotta give me a second to hook this controller up.
Oh, okay, you're not in yet? I gotcha.
Like a gentle rain.
On the objective and ready for action.
Are you spectating yet or no?
Recovered and ready.
Get them away from the
So the problem was I was turning on my brother's Xbox when I was plugging it in.
Oh, I gotcha.
everyone on me.
Alright, there we go. Alright, might have to see if I can find a way to change up the controls so it's not console controls when I'm spectating console. But I,
Mm-hmm.
I do have visibility on,
Let's kick this off. Hitting the ground running.
Backup requested at the objective.
Team's just getting rolled, man.
Coming through. Disrupting. Think I'd ever let you down?
Mercy on call.
So right now you're in pretty safe position, so if you want to, you could keep poking a little bit, try to get some ult charge, just play it very safe. But instead of just like full backing, you just get some shots in, because then you can maybe build up a railgun. Maybe with a railgun you get a headshot, that sort of thing, and then that's how you can open up for your team.
This ends now. We're going against the odds.
Our work is not done.
Tried to get her.
All right,
Yeah, not much I
so
could do on that one.
So three things we could have done better there. So firstly,
Mhm.
we do drop from high ground. When we were in a pretty good position, we end up giving it up for free. When we had two other people on point, which just meant that you got shredded immediately, and meant you couldn't
Mhm.
use your ult from high ground. Secondly, we probably could have used our ult there because you didn't end up ulting when that's the last fight. Probably just best to use it and try to get some kills with it, and then that could maybe swing the fight. So better to use it than not. And then
Mhm.
thirdly, there was a lot of downtime in that fight. Like, firstly, we took a really long rotation to high ground, whereas maybe what you could do alternatively is shoot from that left hand side, shoot, wait till you get slide, and then slide over, so it's a quicker rotation. Then once you're over there on the high ground, you would take some like someone would look at you, and then you'd like full back up for like 5 seconds, whereas you can probably just back up around the corner so that it's quicker.
Mhm.
And you might even be able to still shoot at some people from around the corner. So just be careful that you're not doing nothing, that you're not out of the fight for too long.
Come here. I'm getting the objective. Falling apart.
Okay. Why do you think that one was a death?
We were down a lot. I should have pulled out.
Well, actually, I think your teams are pretty even there. I think the big thing was that you were isolated from them. You're kind of off on your own. So
Mhm.
where you could have gotten team support if they're with you, you're kind of off by yourself. So on Sojourn, make sure that you're not doing too much flanking. You're not going super far off on your own. Do some off angles, but she usually a lot of times needs some team support with her.
Recalculating. That's the stuff. Group up here. Clear out. Heroes never die. That feels much better. This ends now. Just what I was looking for. Recharging. I'm on my game now.
Okay, nice attempt.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure that when you're ulting, I see you do it like half the time when you ult, where you're shooting your regular shots while you're railgunning. Make sure that you're just basically while you're ulting, just holding that down so you can get maximum damage. If you are holding down your primary fire and using your railgun, then you're going to be getting more damage. You're going to be charging your railguns quicker. You probably, during that last railgun that you used, you probably could have killed the soldier if you just been holding down left click. He probably would have died, and
Mhm.
then that means that you can then now go shoot at more people instead of using like the whole ults on him. Things like that
Mhm.
that can help make it more efficient. All right, so like I said before, we're seeing like a lot of the same stuff. You did a little bit better with survivability there, but there's still some like a lot of just like inefficiencies, things that like could be better and will both lead to staying alive more while also getting more kills, more uptime. So using cover to your advantage in positioning so that you can be in the fight more, but also safer in the fight. Things like that. during this next game, since we're still doing live, and we know what we're working with. I guess let's try to pick something out to work on. Um,
Okay.
since I'd say let's keep working with positioning for the moment.
Okay.
Still some stuff in awareness, still some stuff with mechanics. I'd say the biggest thing with mechanics is just crosshair placement and aiming head level. You're
Mhm.
doing a pretty decent job with target priority, which I think we talked about last time. Yeah. Um, so let's focus on positioning, and while we're playing, I'll try to do my best to give you some reminders as you're going through,
Okay.
so
Okay.
that I can start to be the voice in your head giving you those reminders, so that you can kind of get in the rhythm of it as you're playing. And then, of course, as you keep practicing, you should be your own voice in your head, giving yourself those reminders as you're playing, so you can keep working on those sorts of things.
Okay. Sounds good.
Welcome to Esperanza. We're in this together. All of us. Nice augments. They must have cost quite a bit.
You have no idea.
Five, four, three, two, one. Objective
Oh,
unlocks in 30 seconds.
hit the wrong button there.
Okay, good job on the high ground. If you can't see very much, we can start to take this left side a little bit, so we can kind of take that off angle, using slide to get
Right here.
back if we need it. Yep, probably want some cover, so sliding to cover when you get the chance, yeah.
Need repair.
Watch jumping, usually that makes it even easier to get headshot than actually avoiding any shots.
Took the robot. Don't let it move a single step.
Dodge this.
At some point, want to close that distance. Yep, exactly. Watch the health bar, though.
Yeah.
Yep, doing pretty good. Watch the fact right now, right? We're being aware the fact that they're on Mercy. So firstly, we're watching for those reses, but also Mercy's packeting their Ash right now. So you have to
Yeah.
be careful in those 1v2s. If you see that Mercy's pocketing Ash, might not be a duel that you want to take unless maybe you have a railgun.
Our enemy has taken the lead.
Okay. You have a health pack to your right that you could grab potentially there.
Feeling better.
Nice. Okay.
Oh wow.
A little bit of awareness, right? Keeping ears open and eyes
Gonna
open.
need a new paint job after this.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling the heat.
Okay, closing the
This
distance.
ends now.
Probably just slide in a little far back at the moment.
Nope.
Cooling down.
Fuck.
Outnumbered. Watch yourself.
Chip.
Not so fast.
Okay, a little bit more awareness, right? Because if we know that she's over there, if she's still over there, then we can go and shoot at her a bit, right? We saw that she was over there before, and she never we didn't see her or hear her rotate.
Enemy team is pushing forward. Thanks for the help.
Current positioning is pretty fine to work with at the moment.
Gotta stay on your toes, soldier.
Okay, could be a little bit closer. Gotta watch for the res as well.
Disrupting.
Okay, still playing a little bit far. Be a little bit aggressive right now. Your team's very far ahead. Watch putting yourself too far during these fights, just so that you're able to do a little bit more. Sometimes we're just like putting yourself towards the edge of your ranging again.
Mm-hmm.
You're falling apart. What am I missing? Clear out.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
This ends now.
Man,
Let's get back
team's
to
getting
business.
fucking wrecked.
Disrupting.
Okay, push when your team's pushing, so you can kind of just see things and shoot at them. Could be taking one of like the top left high ground right now.
Wow. That's a good thought.
I'm on fire.
Eye those dead bodies so we can stop those reses.
Yeah. Mercy's pocketing everybody.
All right. Sound. Did we go over sound settings last time?
Yeah, we did. I got
Yeah.
my every time one of our teammates die, we got it going off.
Mhm.
Every time one of theirs die, it goes off.
So
I got the music all the way down.
Nice. Two things that I'm curious about with it. So, it seems as though there's a lot of times where there's like people sneaking up on you. That you don't end up hearing. Like particularly the May killed you like 2 times from behind.
Mm-hmm.
And when we didn't really notice. There's a Junker Queen running around behind you for a little bit during when you got killed by the May the second time. That didn't notice. So when it comes to audio awareness, firstly, I want to ask, do you have a headset that has surround sound as an option?
I don't. I mean, I don't have that option that you talked about last time that you
Mm,
do on PC to where I
yeah.
can change it. It says either headset or TV is my options.
Yeah. So then I think for console, I'm not sure, because since it doesn't have that in-game option, you'd need a headset that has it kind of built into the cons for to the headset. As far as I'm aware, I think that's how it
Mm-hmm.
works. Is that you need a headset that has it built in, versus having software that comes along with it, which some PC, unless you can try looking it up and seeing if console has different software that you can download and things like that, but that'd be my best guess at it. That if you can check to see if your current headset, do you have like a brand name headset, or is it just like
Yeah,
a
it's it has a yeah an amp you could buy that goes with it. It's an Astro 840.
gotcha? So Astra A40. Those are
Mm-hmm.
pretty good, right? Or
Yeah, they're pretty solid.
gotcha.
I think
So I'm just looking at it. Yeah. Okay. So those this might already have surround sound built in. Do you need the amp for the surround sound, or is that just
no, I think what the amp. So the amp is so I can turn up my volume and adjust like secondary volumes.
gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? More
Mm-hmm.
so I can adjust the mix more. I can't adjust the mix
Yeah,
straight from console.
gotcha. Okay, makes sense. All right. So that seems like it's a pretty solid headset. It might already have the surround sound with it, so I don't know if that's the problem. So another thing could just be that you have your volume too low.
Yeah.
So just that would be an idea. Is just turning up your volume a little bit higher so you can hear different things like footsteps and gunshots and things like that. And then
Mhm.
finally, it's just keeping your eyes and ears open and actively paying attention. Which, since you're not actively focusing on awareness as of the moment, that might be
Look alive
a
out
little bit
there.
harder, right? Because you're focusing on positioning. But that is something
Mhm.
for the future to keep in mind. Okay, where you're at right now is really good. It's a good kind of off angle with cover. Okay, could be pushing a little bit closer.
Disrupting.
Yep. When you're off on this angle over here, just always be ready to slide back to your team. Very nice.
Outfought. Breaking them down.
Okay, when you're up this high, you can be getting a little bit more aggressive on people since you have your team's advantage.
Area denial. Thanks for the help.
Okay, probably retake your former positioning if it's no longer contested.
Not so fast.
Right, because now you can kind of shoot them no matter where they go here.
I'm on my game now.
You see how, like, during the fight when they come to point, that's just checking off a lot of your boxes. Cover, team access, escape routes. It's kind of in range. It gives you an off angle to view people.
Mhm.
Push you off the point.
Breaking them down.
Good audio awareness there. Could be a little bit closer. Yep, there you go.
Not so fast. I'm on fire.
Okay, it's last fight, so I'm gonna be looking to use ult whenever people show up. All right, a lot better, lot better.
I think my team overall played a lot better.
Yep. Which like teams will do that. They'll go, and sometimes you'll have decent teams, sometimes you'll have teams that suck. But remember that when you're playing, that it's you who you should be focusing on, because they'll be rotating, or you'll always have different people, right? So you're the only constant factor in your games. Got to keep focusing on what you're doing, because you'll hopefully get to the point where even if your teammates are really bad or just average, that you'll be able to do so good that you can kind of carry them out of it. A lot of times that's what climbing is winning those games that your teammates aren't really doing too much. So here, looking for that medium range high ground whenever we get the chance. So maybe this like top left side would be really good. Kind of contest it, take control.
Area denial.
Okay, good cover usage.
Railgun charge. Breaking them down.
Okay. If we need it, we can always slide back to teammates if we get under pressure.
Damn.
Very nice.
Repair.
That was close, huh?
Maximum firepower. Good effect. Double precision and control.
Okay, very nice. If you're being contested like Sombra like that, like with flankers and whatnot, always like team support is always super helpful. So request healing, get supports to look at you, quicker, be accessible by teammates. So far, really good positioning.
Disrupting.
Good awareness of the Widow. I'd look to avoid her LOS until you get like a railgun up, and then you can kind of head tap her.
Breaking them down. Railgun powered and ready to fire. That's just embarrassing. Enemy here.
Okay, could be a little bit closer right now. Look at where your team's all up at. So, if the team's pushing, you can push too. Team's backing, we can back to where we were. Yep. And now we have when this fight starts, we have ult to work with.
Yeah, this is kind of a roll.
This ends now. Sniper spotted. Heads down. That's two. Cybernetic.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, it was a roll, but you were also playing a lot better, especially in terms of positioning. You had really good high ground, ranging, cover usage, off angling, which is just meant that you were able to do more. You weren't dying all the time.
That'll turn your head.
Right. Why don't you hop in one more?
Okay.
Well, we have notes, so we'll be able to go like cut the review really short as an option here. If we need to, if we're running low on time and the game's still dragging out, we can always leave it so we can wrap up. But so far, it's looking like a lot of the same main points as last time. Of
Mhm.
course, you're still just working on it, and these are a lot of the basics. So, like, this is stuff people struggle with, like, probably through the metal ranks, like up to like plat. There's a lot of those basic things. Um, to work on and develop your skills. That last game looked a lot cleaner with a lot of those things. Just gotta pick one thing, like we said last time, one category, keep working at it, keep chipping away at it. Or like probably a little bit more solid than last time when we looked at it. So just keep on chipping away at it is really the plan at the moment.
Sounds easy enough, huh?
hmm Now to put it into practice, and that's where you'll start to see a little bit harder.
Yeah, easier said than done, right?
Yeah. Yeah, other housekeeping things while your game is starting up here. Um,
Mhm.
over, it looks like we have 11 days left on our order, which is just like a little under 2 weeks. So, just in case we need any more time with scheduling, I'm going to send you a order extension just in case we need to do like a week and a half or whatever for it. It doesn't mean that it's going to take longer. It just is in case so that Fiverr's not wanting it when we need to be scheduling. If that makes sense, I can also re-clarify.
I mean, I get what you're saying. What is
You can just go accept basically I'm just adding some extra time onto the order and you can go and
uh-huh.
accept that. That's really
Okay.
just for if we need it while
Mhm.
scheduling at all. Just because we are like a little bit under 2 weeks with the order with the time it wants for when it's due. Fiverr wants it due, and then we might not be done the second session by then. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the holidays and all that, just passing, it wasn't optimal to squeeze it all
Yeah.
in.
Yep. Cam spectating.
That was a quick spectate there. You getting the hang of it, man. So you're having to use the controller.
Yeah, it's weird because I guess it's like when it is a console game, it wants me to use the controller. Is very
Hmm.
interesting.
That is interesting.
What kind of armor polish do you use anyway?
I'm making my own.
With walnuts?
Among other things. Let us proceed with haste.
Hello.
Yours.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Hi there.
1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
Okay, we can chill around here until we start to see stuff. Make sure we're using cover. Right, kind of
Mhm.
left it when we started peeking there.
Yeah.
Be extra
Got too
careful
far.
since there are so many snipers.
I'm not a fan of setbacks.
Since they're on these snipers, remember they're your biggest threat, so you're also their biggest threat. So look to focus them first.
Dodge this.
Get some railgun charge and then doink them in the head since they have big head hitboxes. Yep, good positioning. Stay here for the moment.
Clear out.
Ah, tried to jump to that side.
Very
It's
nice.
embarrassing. Area denial.
Okay, very nice.
My power emanates.
Breaking them down. Right
Yep.
on the money.
Watch that like tapping at range. Request healing or drop to the mega right below you right here.
Need healing.
Yeah, there's one in the corner. Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Feeling better.
Good to know.
I'm on my game now.
Request healing. Don't keep burning.
Can I get some healing? Disrupting.
Yes, good angle. Exactly, starting to get to the point where you're not giving downtime about.
Dodge this. Efficient design at work.
Okay, very nice.
Do something. You're falling apart. Catch me up.
Yep, good job getting back to supports. Good job watching your health, brother.
Thanks. Disrupting.
Yep, once again, probably watching the health. Probably don't want to be sitting at 80
Need
HP.
repairs. Breaking them down.
Okay, last fight if we win this, so could be ulting here. Remember, you don't gotta hold on to it if winning means last fight. All right, cool. Another very solid game. Let's wrap up. So,
Okay.
overall, a lot better during those the first half of the session to the last half of the session. Already improvement. Basically just you want to keep that up and keep working on that because that might have you might have done good in those games, but you want to form those into habits. You don't want to just stop there because you want to get to the point where what you just did and having all that good positioning becomes second nature, where you're just doing it naturally, right? Then once that you get that down, once you get those basics under control, then we can move on to some other basics, or we can move on to some more advanced stuff, and then you can get more efficient and more consistent. Right now, we're just working on just doing the bare minimum, right? Using cover, taking high ground, staying in range, and that sort of stuff. Just as you can see, keeps you alive, puts you in places where you can actually shoot stuff, and that for the moment is doing wonders to actually keep you in the fight, keep you shooting at stuff, and keep you from dying. Is really what you're looking at for your next week here while you're working on stuff. So I'll get you your notes. Keep working on those primary big positioning things. There's other side things that you can maybe think about once in a while, but I wouldn't put your priority focus on them for the moment. And we can touch on those once you've really nailed it and gotten good at the whole positioning thing. Once you've gotten the basics of all that positioning down, then we'll be able to be able to move into some of the other things a little bit easier and more smoothly. We'll be able to move into more advanced positioning. We'll be able to move into those other basics like aiming at head level and for mechanics and ult usage, remembering to like sometimes I'd have to remind you, oh yeah, it's the last fight. Make sure you're using your ult, right? That sort of thing. We'll be able to move into those other things once this first thing's out of the way. So let me get the recording